None of this is getting edited out.
Yes, it is.
Any of this out.
There we go. TSG is joining us today for the Rundown episode 22. Actually, you could probably see here, I did change it. Instead of calling it the Illuvium Rundown, I'm going to change it to the GameFi Rundown. If you've been watching this, you'll notice that most of the topics are always Illuvium, but every once in a while I'll throw in a different topic that's Web3 or GameFi related, but not Illuvium. So really nothing changes except the name. I think it might just give a more broad audience that might want to click into it and watch. So anyways, that's why I changed the name here. But again, Jimberino's back. TSG, welcome. Thanks for joining.
What's up, man? Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, I know you're a busy guy. Jimbo, I don't know, but TSG, so busy. I'm glad you're finding the time to come on here.
I don't even do my council duties, so it is what it is.
I know, right? Someone's not voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see. So let's just get right into the first topic here. I labeled this, ILV or Illuvium like development. And really what I want to talk about is that we're getting so many good ideas from the community and council members and everything. I feel like everybody's coming up with great ideas. I just keep hearing that like the scope is just too big, and if we keep implementing all these amazing ideas, the game will never get finished. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, what do we do? How much do we add to the game to make it the best possible game, but still, have open beta on time?
I personally see a lot of like quality of life changes that people like propose in the ideas channel. I think QLL changes we should try to stick away from as much as possible, because one, the team likely already has it planned, and two, like all these little things add up. So I don't want to say like don't be coming up with ideas for QLL. Like definitely keep coming up with those ideas, but just understand that when you do, they are likely to be archived for a little bit, because the main thing that we have to get done is PvP and then the open beta, and the team does not have time to do all of this stuff. Though, like, again, keep coming up with ideas, but just understand it may be a little bit before those get implemented.
Yo, I love it. It's like, keep coming up with ideas, but we're just not going to do them.
We'll do them in the future. It's just can't do them right now.
Yeah. 100%. I legitimately think, and I know Aaron's kind of said this as well publicly, about everything. Like, if it's not going to assist with bringing open beta out, it's just not important right now. Like that, everything that we need to do is bring that out. The whole let's balance survival. No, like just straight out no. What was the purpose of that? We need PvP out. We need the structure out. We need the format. We need legendary. We need that out, and then you balance it. We don't even have all the Illuvials in yet. Yeah, everything just needs to lead to open beta, and then everything, all the other great ideas can come after that. Because once open beta is out, we're actually generating revenue. Once we start generating revenue, that allows us a bit of extra time, a bit of extra runway. We actually start getting more players, more feedback, more of a data pool to actually work from, rather than the very loud minority of people right now that are saying, we want this. It's like, yes, cool, but it's still a very small group in the grand scheme of things. So if it's not assisting with getting open beta out by the end of the year, like Jimbo said, either just hold off on the idea and just kind of wait. Because even if you put it down and it gets archived, chances are we're going to get more and more quality of life changes that get requested later on anyway. And more than likely, I'm sure that because we're getting them closer to when open beta is, or once we have open beta, they're probably going to be more accurate and more relevant regardless. So they're the ones that are going to be tackled first, is what I would imagine. But yeah, forget your ideas and just focus on open beta. It sounds horrible, but it is what it is.
I know, and it's too bad because like especially being on the council, like I feel like I have more of a voice now, and I have all these ideas, but I just keep thinking like I have to wait before I start putting these out there, because we just can't build it right now. But I keep thinking, like you said, once open beta's out, we get more players, and then hopefully, in a year we get that Bitcoin halving, the whole market starts to pick up. Then maybe they can expand the team. All of these small ideas can start getting worked in quicker and quicker.
Yeah, and we're already actually expanding the team as well. I'll just put that out there. We're getting quite a few people like every month now, so
Awesome.
it is expanding. The cap raise was definitely helpful in that. But yeah,
All right, so why don't we just move on to the second segment here, advertising your NFTs, and if we can pull up this tweet from our favorite Web3 creator, Kagijan. He says more bullish on games that embrace blockchain openly. A lot of games are hiding it from their site, and he understands why, but he thinks that they're locking themselves out of the Web3 liquidity. I wanted to put this up here, especially because I saw Jimbo over here comment on it and say how he's never disagreed more. So Jimbo, what do you mean by this? Why do you disagree here?
So, like, we all know that Kagi's my favorite content creator of all time. So it really pained me to say that. But the biggest problem that I see with this is like, so at the problem is if you want mainstream adoption, you have to appeal to the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these NFT games that are appealing to people in the NFT space are going to die because there's just not enough. There's literally not enough liquidity to sustain like the type of game that like Illuvium wants to go for, the type of player base that Illuvium needs to have like a healthy queue, to have a healthy market ecosystem. I just think this is absolutely terrible idea because what we can do is we can be like, as I said here in the tweet, it's like hide the NFTs as much as possible. Don't be like weird about it, but you don't have to come out and say it. Just be like, you can trade these assets. And then once people play the game and they find out, hey, this is a good game, but wait, there's blockchain attached to this? That doesn't make sense. This game actually works. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's a good idea at all. Personally, like if you've talked to anybody, like any Web2 gamers about NFTs, even my own friends are like, why is this necessary? Or this is a scam. It's like, no, dude, they're not going to buy into that. I'm sorry. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Now, do you think you'd change your tune a little bit if the overall crypto market was different? Like obviously right now we're in a bear market. Everyone thinks this is a scam unless they're in the space. But when ILV was pumping up to $1,900 and everybody was buying into the metaverse and crypto idea, would you, if we get back to that point, would you change your tune on that or just stick with this is a game and let them figure out the blockchain technology on their own?
I think it would depend on the sentiment around NFTs during that time. Because if there is like a super bullish sentiment around NFTs, generally you can get away with that a little bit more, I would think. I also don't know because people got burned so bad during the last bull run, they might still just be too sheepish to join in at that point. So I don't know. Because like they're going to find out that there's NFTs anyways. It's either do we kind of want to not put that up in like do we want to promote that as much or do we want to let the people find that out themselves? I'm not sure, to be honest.
yeah, like yeah, I can't believe I'm disagreeing with my favorite YouTuber of all time, Kagi as well. But no, man, it's all of this stuff. Like what Jimbo was saying, the amount of liquidity. Like the last time I checked was, and I don't even know how accurate this is, but the last time that I checked was a couple months ago, and the numbers were that there are 1 million daily active users, daily active wallets in all of Web3 gaming. Like 1 million. That's it. 1 million compared to 3 billion gamers in the world. So it's like, oh, let's showcase this. For who? For the million? Are you like, I don't know, like, are you looking at the numbers right? Am I missing something? The idea of NFTs and blockchain, that should be a feature. Like it shouldn't be an advertising thing. Yo, guys, check the, bro, relax, settle down. What you need to say is, yo, this is a game, it's a dope game, blah, 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 blah. It excites you to want to play the game. And by the way, one of the things in the game is that we have a marketplace where you can trade with people. Boom, that's it. Legitimately, you don't need to say anything about NFTs. You don't need to say anything. But it's just like, oh man, we have Fortnite, but there's a marketplace where you can actually trade your skins. Bro, you don't need to mention ownership. You don't need to mention any of that crap. You say there's a feature where you are able to do this. Like trade with your friends. Like, you know, those like weird ass advertisements like, yo,
Yeah.
collect with your friends, battle with your friends, trade with your friends. Legitimately just do something like that. Like, yeah, like just do something where it's like, oh, it's a feature of it. People get interested and be like, oh, damn, like this is just a cool addition to gaming I've never experienced before. Boom, that's it. And the only
Yeah.
way to really make that happen is if the onboarding is really, really seamless. where again you put in an email, it links up everything, and obviously like we're having conversations as well. But like invisible signing, that you don't be playing a game and having to sign every transaction. That's obviously a horrendous experience as well. But yeah, you legitimately need to create a game that's viable as a Web 2 game with an additional feature that Web 2 games don't have. That's legitimately all you need to do. Nothing I just mentioned NFTs or blockchain or none of that. The masses don't need to know any of that. The masses don't care what technology is in the TV. They just care that it's big and they get good colors on it. That no one gives a shit how Wi-Fi works on their phone. They just need to know that the phone has the feature of Wi-Fi, right? No one needs to know what the technology is, just that you're able to use it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think I'm kind of in the middle on this one, even though I think you just pushed me more towards the other direction. But what I would say is that, like, don't advertise it, but I think you could embrace it and not hide it. Like, I don't think you should be hiding these things either. I think when somebody hears about Illuvium and they hop onto the Illuvium website, yeah, they should see this is a great game. This is what the game's all about. But I don't think that they should, or what Kieran has said a long time ago. I don't think it should be like the reverse rug pull. Like they start playing and everything, and then they find out that it's has this blockchain technology. I think it should just be, there. Like, don't hide it. It's there. It's part of this game. It is one of the things that makes this game unique. But also not just saying, hey, we have NFTs, like, because that just sounds scammy.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think hide it. Like, but if you're marketing something, you need to know the market. You need to know the audience that you're going for. So I'm not saying hide it, like, yo, don't tell them anything. Bro, if they ask, respond. If there's, like, have a tab about it and frequently asked questions or something, where if they care about it, they can find it. Like, it's there. But don't be pushing that at the front. Like, keep that at the back where it's like, oh, man, if you really care about it, cool. It's like, again, technology. Like, every time we buy, like, a new piece of technology, it comes with the books, with all the information. Bro, they don't hide it from us. But if you're really, really super keen on learning all the inner details of that stuff, you can go through and find it. But it's not like, again, when I don't know about you guys, but yeah, maybe I'm just really bad with it. When I bought these monitors, did I really know what the like refresh rates and all of? Like, not really. I was like, oh man, it's big, it fits what I need. Boom, I get it. And then I find out later it can do like crazy other things. Do I utilize it? Sometimes not. Sometimes I do. But to me, that's the exact same experience. You play the game, then you start to learn. Oh damn, it's got this new feature. You decide whether you want to use it to its full like utility or not. If you want to like be fully like custodial of your own things, or have Illuvium do it for you. Again, all of the options are exactly the same thing as I'm talking about my monitor right now. Like, it's got all these refresh rates. Do I want to optimize it or not? That's up to me. But yeah, it wasn't. That wasn't the reason I bought the game. Like, bought the monitor. They were like, yo, guys, the refresh rates are. Bro, what? I was like, oh, it's an ultra wide. It's big. Cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah, it's like recommended by Dimitri. Same shit.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it just something else just clicked here. I believe I heard Kieran say at one point that they might have like two different landing pages for Illuvium. One, when they're advertising to Web 2, they basically will see something different first than if they're advertising to the Web 3 space. Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of that's in the works, but like any comments on that?
I mean, not sure if it's in the works, but A/B testing is always good.
Yeah, I just think it would kind of make sense. Like if they're reaching out to the Web 3 space, then those people are probably looking for the blockchain technology. Where if they're reaching out to the Web 2 audience, they're not. The future of Illuvium Beyond. We finished up Wave 1. We had the first promo, wave that came, or whatever you want to call it, for GameStop. I would say Wave 1 was a success. GameStop, not too sure about that one. But where do we see this going? I know internally there's still talks on pricing. Do we want this to be accessible to every single person who enters the space, or do we want this to be more premium? We do have the alpha versions versus the regular versions. We're hoping for more promos. And then, leaderboard expansion. What do you guys think about that? Like, what do you want to see coming next, or how do you want to see this develop? When should we be getting a game built on top of this, like a card game or something like that?
Yo, Jimbo.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like whatever works best for Illuvium. I don't really care about Illuvitars.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm not an expert. I think it would be better to market it just towards like allowing as many people as possible to join the game because it sets a good precedent for the actual games, like the real games. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of an expert on NFT profile pictures. I enjoy them, but I don't know. I would personally like to see them cheap to where anybody could buy them.
So what's your take on the current price then? The $8.40. Do you reckon that meets the mark of what you're saying, where everyone can afford them?
Okay, so
So,
yeah, it was definitely $8.40 dollars.
It's $8.40. Yeah.
Okay.
that was the last thing that was put in the ideas thread
That
there.
no, that was wave one. Wave one was $8.40.
Was it?
So yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the-
for non-alphas.
Yeah, that's why I'm not talking about the proposals and stuff, but like going back to what you were saying about having everyone have it accessible. Like, does that hit your mark?
$8.40? No. I would like to see it drag down a little bit from there personally. In a perfect world, I would like for it to be a little bit less than that, but whatever makes Illuvium the most money and makes the most people happy is what I really want. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's what it is. Finding the happy
Are
medium.
you okay? What the fuck?
There's like don't worry about it. Sorry, I don't
Yo,
want
I
you to
swear,
edit so much.
4 and 20. What are you talking about? None of this is getting edited out.
Yes,
You
it
don't edit
is.
any of this out.
All right. So, question here: how much does a pack of Pokemon cards cost if you pick them up from like?
It's like
Target?
$7.99, right? Or $4.99. I forgot what the exact number is.
I don't think it's $7.99.
In the US it's 4.
Okay,
Maybe
so
it
okay, Australian it might be $7.99 based on the
Yeah.
$4.99. Yeah,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
$4.99.
Yeah.
it's either $4.99 or $3.99, something around that, right?
Yeah, and those actually have utility as well, I should say.
Yeah, I think that's the best comparison, especially since we know that
$4.
like a card game is coming eventually, or we don't know, but like we can assume that a card game is coming, so it's going to get closer to what Pokemon cards are.
I just verified it is. So in America it's $4, which is
Yeah.
why $7.99 in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think that would be a good price point, but also knowing that it's not like every single disc would be that $4 or that $8. There is the mega discs that give you a guaranteed rare card, or 1200 power or something like that. So for the people who want to spend more money, that option is there to guarantee them something more rare. But I think the lower end, the standard one, or standard, not mega. I think the cheaper it is, I think the better. To be honest with you.
So okay, look, I'm not going to speak about price per se. I'll give you one bit of pushback on what you're saying about the cheaper price. Like there has to be a. It's not just let's make it $1. Like right, if the argument is cheaper is better, why don't make it 50 cents? That there's a point in which it becomes detrimental, and one of the biggest issues is if we drop the price by 50%, and I'm just giving numbers out. If we drop the price by 50%, and let's say someone like Kieran goes in and buys a whole bunch of them, he's going to be able to complete that entire collection by spending almost 50% less. So at that point, then, what incentivizes him to keep buying? So he's now completed the entire collection at a cheaper price, which in turn, going back to your thing, Jimbo, actually brings in less revenue for the DAO. And that's just not Kieran. That's most people. Most people will be able to collect it or whatnot much faster than they would if it is that slightly higher price point. Yeah. So that's where we need to actually find out what and this is, I'm gonna put my Andrew cap on right now. Sorry, Najib, do you want to jump in before I do that?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I agree with that, but how many people are out there that are gonna keep buying discs until these collections are complete? Like, off the top of my head, from what I've seen, 10 to 20 people will probably just buy until they complete a set. There's literally maybe 20 people out of thousands and thousands of people. Like, I don't think that's a ton of people doing that.
I would also like to add, like, that is a good counterpoint, but lowering the price, think about how many people that could actually potentially draw in to complete their sets that wouldn't have previously.
which is, and this is why I was gonna say, like, I'm gonna put my Andrew hat on, and he does the usual things like, and there were 3 points, and what does that mean? But so there are 3 things that we've kind of realized based on the experience from the GameStop partner disc. I've said it on my channel and multiple channels. I don't think it's an overwhelming success or an overwhelming failure. I think there were pros and cons out of all of that. It was a great learning experience. The team's been super critical. But the 3 things that we really kind of defined after that experience was, what is Illuvium Beyond really? And the first thing is that it needs to be fun. Number one, first and foremost, it needs to be fun. When you pull the accessories and you bond it, that needs to be a key component of the experience of Illuvium Beyond. Number 2, it needs to be accessible. So it needs to be accessible. Having a price point at $200 or something crazy takes that away. So again, that $8, maybe you drop it down a couple of dollars to $6 or something like that. Again, I'm not giving any ideas. This is just theoretical. You lower it a bit, it becomes more accessible. Going to your point, Jimbo, how many more people are actually going to complete collections if we do that? That's a good question. But doing that adds the accessibility route. And the third point of this is that it needs to be a collection game. That is the point. The thing with GameStop stuff was there was I think there was like 13 Goliaths in total, 4 or 13. I forget the exact number.
Yeah, I don't even think it was 13.
Yeah, which I think it was
8
13.
or something like that.
It might be, but regardless, it's a very, very small number.
Yeah.
But so that means that the entirety of everyone participating, there was only 13 or let's say 13 people that were able to complete their collection. So that goes against all 3 of those fundamental core principles of being fun. You got 1 Illuvitar, wasn't really that fun. Number 2, accessible price point. And the third, the collection game. You weren't able to do that. So that's one of the major things that we learned. And going into wave 2, these are the 3 things, and moving on with Illuvium Beyond, they're the 3 things that everything needs to point towards, and all decisions need to point towards that to make it work. So in regards to the price, look, I don't have an issue with the current price. I think $8 is completely fine. I mean, no matter where you work, I think $8 a month or a week, you should be able to do that regardless. Like if you want to even just participate, and if it goes down slightly, I mean, I can understand that, but we need to really run the numbers and really kind of find out how much would someone need to spend to complete the entire set at that point, and that wave at that point. But yeah, those are things that we need to consider. But as long as it's those 3 points, then I think we're heading in the right direction. Anything straying from those 3 points, burn it in the fire, as Andrew would put it.
Yeah, I'm hoping
burn it with fire. Burn it with fire. Yeah,
I'm hoping this Battle in the Beyond thing that Lizards is putting together. I hope that really excites people and makes it more fun. You know, I don't know when that's coming out.
Yeah,
I know they're starting to do some testing on it. I don't know if it's going to be available for Wave 2 or if it's going to be beyond that.
We're all going to be in the I'm not sure about Chimbo, but Najif, we're going to be in that focus group thing, right? I totally forgot about that.
So I know they're starting to test it sometime soon. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to be ready for Wave 2 or if that's going to be something that we're looking at Wave 3 for. But that's definitely going to bring some hype to just opening these discs. And then
I mean, it'll just add some fun. I don't know. Like, do you guys really? I don't know. Like, Jimbo doesn't give a crap at all. But like Najif, do you think that it needs to have more utility than what it does now? And in regards to expanding the leaderboard, 100%, I'm all for that. I've spoken to Nick and a couple of guys. I think it's better off that we start expanding it over time. Like my thing is, I wouldn't want to see it expanded to 1,000 people right now. I'd like to see it expanded to 250 and then 500 and then 1,000, because it's like I don't know the numbers, but optically it wouldn't be great if at the bottom of the leaderboard is a bunch of people with like 1,000 points. But if you overshoot it and get a bunch of people on the leaderboard, it looks very bad to go and shorten it after. Whereas if you keep it short, expand it, that seems like a natural progression. So, but yeah, like, do you guys think there's any other utility that's needed for this product outside of like the collection and like the fun disc battles that we do anyway? Like,
I personally, I think there does need to be more, because the collection game only goes so far. I'm still in it because I've been teetering on that top 100 for a while. If I ever fall out of that top 100 and feel like I I can't get back in, then I'm just gonna stop looking at it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But if there was a game attached to it, like a card game, which is like I can't wait till I can get some details on what they're working on, for that. But that would bring like the utility that keeps me in it to be like, all right, now I need to make sure I have all of these options, so whenever this game does come out, I can play it.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
fair.
I
get
think
that.
more utility is needed.
I'm
That's fair.
personally on the other side, actually, like, because we have real games that are going to be played and we can make money from that. Why not just keep this as an NFT profile picture, and then we can start developing other stuff on top of it? I mean, it's proven that NFT profile pictures can be bought and people will buy them. And then you say, oh, this profile picture, all you have to do is spend $4 for it. I think, I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert on NFT profile pictures, but I just think adding too much to it could be a waste of time. I could be wrong on this, but I could have swore I heard that it was going to be a third party person that makes the card game. Is that? Do you know about that?
Eight Lizard's gonna be doing Battle in the Beyond in regards to the card game. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong, but I don't know. I think Illuvium would have more benefit by just adding on to the games that they already have, personally.
Yes,
But I could see Najav's argument. I think that was a good argument. I don't know.
Yeah. I think, I agree with you, Jimbo. And again, I get where you're coming from, Najif. I legitimately think if they just expand the leaderboard, again, the idea that you're going to be left out of it, like, is going to be gone, and you're going to stay competitive.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, when I dropped out, I kind of slowed down on the bonding side of things. I kept on buying stuff just for the sake. I still want to complete my collection. Like, I'm just happy to complete a collection, which yo guys, I opened like 500 discs and I have one tier 5. Bro, what the hell? What the hell?
The only reason I'm in that top 100 is because I got lucky and pulled a blazing Ramfire.
Yeah,
if I didn't do that, I would have been out of it.
I don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think expanding the leaderboard is going to do wonders, man. Like, if I see myself back at like 200, if the leaderboard is 250, I'd be like, oh damn, I need to stop bonding again. Like,
yeah,
I need to stay on top.
Yeah.
I think that's more than enough, because like the bonding is fun. Like the trying to climb that leaderboard is, and maybe I'm biased. I don't know.
Being
but for me,
as efficient with it as possible and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, trying to be efficient is like, yo, maximize the links because the blah blah blah. Like, I'm not gonna do all the movies, but yeah.
Well, let's move on. Maybe we could pick up the pace a little bit for these next ones, so this episode's not too crazy long. But I want to kind of talk about more of like the future of Illuvium Zero now, and more specifically when it comes to the idea of kind of a Clash of Clans thing where you're going from go to other people's lands and raid their stuff and take some with it. Maybe you're defending yours. And then I kind of want to tie that into Heroes of Mavia, which is another game which is actually about to drop their beta within a couple hours from filming this. So by the time you see this, their beta is already out. But they're coming up with another game that's basically that. It's basically the Web3 version of Clash of Clans. So now I keep thinking, like, is Illuvium going to end up, or Illuvium Zero going to end up being a copy of Heroes of Mavia now? Or are they going to be able to separate themselves? What do you guys think of that?
This one, yeah. I think personally, I'm not super invested in Illuvium Zero. I wasn't huge on the play style, but if we had some kind of PvP or Clash of Clans-esque PvP added into it, I would definitely at least try it out, and I would be building out my land 100%. Just because I'm a PvP guy, I think if that says a lot. If someone like me who doesn't really like Illuvium Zero, like the city builder kind of games, that's just not my thing. If I would be willing to play it with PvP added, that makes me think that other people would think the same personally. So I don't think it. I mean, we could make it very different to Clash of Clans or Mavia. I don't think there would be any kind of like real copycat aura going on there. How do you feel about it, TSG?
Yeah. Me? Yeah, this is now my turn to say that I don't actually care too much. I've said it from the start. Illuvium Zero is one of the games that I wasn't most excited about, which kind of changed when I played it. Like, I'm still playing it daily now because of the blueprints and stuff like that. I like it the way it is. It's just casual. You just go in, you tap on it. Like, there's no kind of, like, there's strategy to it, but there's no kind of pressure on the game. I personally like it. I've never played Clash of Clans, or I don't play mobile games at all in general, so I have no point of reference. But I would be completely fine not leaving it as is, but not having like raids and having to worry, yo, is someone gonna take my stuff? Maybe if it was optional, that's cool. But for me, I'm truly enjoying the city builder for what it is. Yeah.
My internet, my computer's all still shit. I gotta wait until we get into the bull run where I could take some profits
To upgrade.
and upgrade all my stuff.
Cards are time in the bear.
Oh man.
I know it's just I'm just trying to buy as much crypto as I can. When we hit that bull run, I'll take profits and I'll upgrade all my stuff. But I'm gonna be opposite of both of you guys again and say that like Illuvium Zero is like a big deal to me, and the reason is not just because I bought land, but I'm just not one of those people who's always home at my computer. And any game that Illuvium can have that's going to be mobile is going to be very big for me. I'm either still at my job. I can hop on my phone and play. I have a daughter. Take her to soccer practice. Take her to tennis lessons. I'm sitting there for an hour or two.
Yo, if you take your daughter to soccer, watch her play, bro. Be a present dad. What are you doing?
Okay. Soccer was a bad example because I'm her coach. I've been volunteering for a coach. So soccer's a bad example because I'm actually coaching.
He's coaching. He's sitting there.
He's
playing
coaching. He's like, yo, well done, man. Top corner.
No, but tennis
so
lessons,
good.
those are boring. And I can barely see her anyways. So yeah, so at tennis lessons, wish I could just play on my phone. But more importantly, when I'm at my real job, at my day job, when I don't feel like doing anything, I want to be able to fire up a game and play some PvP. I want to go raid somebody else's land. But the big things to me is like, even though I'm so invested in Illuvium, I just don't know how much time I'm going to be able to spend at my computer playing the overworld. So I want to build out those other things. Even when we were talking about a card game for Illuvium Beyond, I think that might be something that could be easily ported to mobile. So that's something that I could play on the go as well. And that's just my big reasoning for that. I'm really bullish on Illuvium Zero and what could come of it, mostly because of that, the accessibility of it being mobile.
Yeah, I get that. Like I say, I'm not going to die on that hill. I don't care too much. I'm happy with what it is, but that doesn't mean that it can't be improved. I completely get that.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on here. So Sparkball. Now, Jimberino just why don't you just explain what you hosted, or no, you didn't host. You just kind of commented. I don't know. What did you do with this Spikeball game?
So Caveman and I co-streamed on the Polemos YouTube while watching the tournament that they hosted, and they had big like esports orgs like NRG, Team Liquid, Cloud9. It was just so much fun. Like that game was crazy to me because I personally played League of Legends for 10 years, for better or for worse. But it reminds me a lot of like a mix of League of Legends and soccer. And we were watching it, and it was just action packed the entire time, dude. Like from the first second of the game, there was action and fighting, and people were using their abilities, outplays, combinations. This game is going to be huge for esports, and I just had so much fun watching it. It was a great time, and that actually they are letting people play in the alpha during this weekend actually. So well, are you gonna have this up on Saturday? If you are, make sure you check out Sparkball because that
Saturday.
game is going to be absolutely fantastic. I was very impressed with what I saw. So many potential for outplays, outsmarting your opponent, mind games. Yeah, that game's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
First NFT game I saw besides Illuvium that I knew was gonna be big.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. 100%. I watched a little bit of the stream that you had, not live, but when you told me about it after. And there's two games that I thought of right away would be what is it, Rocket League? It seemed like similar to that because it's kind of like a soccer game. And then like Mario Strikers. I kind of get that feel for both of those games in there. But yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of action going on. It looks like a fun game. I'm gonna have to look into it more after this.
Yeah, the only problem I have with it, and they probably are thinking of this and have it planned out because, right, it's just like Illuvium, it's not a finished product. But my only problem is it doesn't seem like once one team gets rolling, the other team can get back in, which would be huge for esports and just like enjoying the game in general. You want to feel like you can get back in no matter where you're at, unless you're like super far down behind. But yeah, that was my only problem, which will probably get fixed.
So are you going to be hosting more of these things on with the Playmo's channel? Are you going to be doing anything like this on your channel? Maybe when Illuvium Esports comes out?
I am going to be the Illuvium esports guy. I am not going to be the esports guy for any other game, though. I wouldn't have time for that unless someone invited me on and I didn't have to do any work. I would be available for that. So let me know if you're watching and you're doing something like that. But yeah, Illuvium esports, I'm going to be all over that 100%.
Yeah. What do they call it? A cast shouter?
Cast shouter, yes. That's
what.
Jimbo the cast shouter. I like that.
Yep.
Nice ring to it.
I'm going to get in my suit. I'm going to be talking all fancy. I'm going to be that guy. I already am that guy, but I'm going to be that guy as well.
Dude, you got to get Illuvium to make you a suit with the little ILV prints down the,
dude, that would
one
be
shirt with all the
X's and Please, Grant, Karen, Aaron, someone please set that up for me. I will wear it every day.
I wear it every day.
So fire.
You got to host every Illuvium esports tournament.
Yep.
Then.
That is going to happen. I will be working for Illuvium one day if their esports.
That would be kind of sick. And you know what? You open up the suit and then you got like an Axodon or something right there.
Dude, that's fire.
Close it.
That's fire.
Mad. You guys should be in fashion, to be honest.
Right?
True.
Let's add this to the merch store.
True. No, I'm excited, man. Again,
the $5,000 suit.
Jesus. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for when PvP comes out. I think, like Jimbo, I know Jimbo's got a lot planned for that, and it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited to see what happens there. Well, with the Sparkball thing, I think we're streaming this on the weekend, right, Jimbo?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm keen. I've seen it before. I don't know much about it, but yeah, cool. I'll try it out for the first time this weekend. It's all downloaded and ready to play.
What time is this being streamed on Saturday?
What, on our channels?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You guys are streaming it?
Yeah, we're gonna be streaming it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I don't know when we're gonna do it. Like,
yeah, I'm sure you'll post it on Twitter or whatever. I'll come check it out. I think I'll be free.
Sick.
But yeah, and I might even try to, hop in and actually play this a little bit because it does look kind of fun.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
All right, so let's move on. This was I was excited to talk about this topic after last episode with Jimbo. We finished the episode and then we started talking about what Illuvifest could be and like how fun it could be. And then I was just like, let's just make this a segment next episode. So, what are you laughing for?
my dude put. I'm just seeing this. My dude put Sausage Fest on.
Yeah, I swear, I was like, what the fuck? We haven't heard Illuvifest in a long ass time, and now all I'm seeing is Sausage Fest. Like, bro, what the hell?
Gosh,
yeah, so I put that in the little comments next to this one because that's one of the questions I had. Like, I mean, TSG, I know you're locked up there. I'm a single guy right now. Am I going to be able to go to this Illuvifest? Is it just going to be a bunch of dudes?
I mean, what does me having a wife have to do with anything, bro? What's going on? What's going on?
Bro, plus one.
Yo, let's go. No, dude, have you not been to like a con, one of these anime cons or cons in general at all? It's gonna be a majority guys, and there's gonna be a minority females, girls and men. Yo, this is a weird thing. One of my homies kept on like calling me out when I was like, a bunch of men and females. Apparently, like I should say males and females, but whatever. But yeah, it's a minority women. And then the ones that are there super get into it, like they get like cosplayed and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always the case. Dude, why would there ever be a 50-50 split? Like logically.
I don't think 50-50. I'm just wondering if it's going to be 90-10.
Yeah, that sounds about right. About 80-20 maybe. Yeah, give or take.
All right. So that's going to make me question on whether I want to buy a plane ticket to go all the way out to Australia. Or are we going to be hosting this in the
United States? Are you going to Illuvifest for love, bro? Like, we're going to hang out and get drunk. What do you mean?
Nah, yeah, I just want to come and hang out with you guys.
Oh, man.
But really,
you find that in the after party, man. When we go out after, that's where the fun's at. Not the.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing. But like, is it going to be in Australia? Are we gonna? Is it gonna? Can we alternate from Australia one year, the United States another year?
Bro, why are we talking about this? When was the last time this was even brought up?
Hey,
it's
we're
fun
bringing
to talk
it back
about.
now. We need this to happen. So we need to,
Oh man.
get it back in the community. We want the whole community talking about Illuvifest.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get on it, Mr. Manager, influencer manager. Let's go.
Yes, I'm the one in charge of all of this.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not happening this year, or maybe next year for sure.
Yeah.
Like potentially, but yeah, much bigger issues. And in regards to, I think Kieran's already addressed this, right? In regards to where it's going to be, he's got way more connects in Australia than America. So maybe a couple times in Australia where all the vendors, every like venues and everything, like we've got all the connections there. Make that happen, and then maybe elsewhere. But it makes way more sense to do it in Australia. And you guys need to come down to Australia, man. Australia's sick. None of you guys be in Australia.
I've never been down under.
I'm so surprised at how many, because again, like in Australia, we travel international, like we're forced to travel internationally very often. Like if we want to travel, that's where we have to go. So we've been to like a bunch of places, most of us. And then I talk to people around the world, and no one has been to Australia. Like that's the last place they go, and it's kind of sad.
In the United States, people want to come here.
Yeah, dude, I've told my wife this is actually pretty funny. Both of you guys are American, and on the list of countries that I want to go, America is like near the bottom. I'd want to go North Korea more than I want to go to America.
Can we kick him off the show? Like, what is this about, bro?
Yo, I'm actually not even joking. I'm not even joking. I would much rather go there because, dude, that'd be interesting as hell. America and Australia, what's so different? Same shit, man. Same shit. Where I'm from in Perth, like we've had a bunch of Americans come through, and they're like, "Yo, Perth is like the Australian Cali," and it's like, "Damn, okay, now you say that I don't need to go Cali anymore." Like, well, what's that? A bunch of like.
So stay away from Perth is what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, yo, Perth is a great place, bro. Don't say that.
Cali the culture is not, so.
Yo, no, Cali, no. I mean, the beaches and everything, culturally, Perth is definitely on top of Cali. I'll say that. Deal with that what you will.
Yeah, I haven't explored the world too much. I did go to the Azores in Portugal when I was younger, which was a good experience. But yeah, Australia seems like a pretty cool place to go.
Yeah,
I'd definitely go there. Hopefully not
you guys can
any spiders or anything.
Now you guys can ride kangaroos when we have Illuvifest. We'll set up some kangaroos so you guys can ride them back and forth and stuff.
You're bullshitting. You can't ride kangaroos.
Yeah, there's no chance that kangaroos holding up my big ass. Like,
yeah, I was hoping someone was gonna buy me. Like, yo, really?
We could try. I mean,
I don't know.
Try.
Okay, so here's another thing that I've taken off. Over where I live, at least, I see deer all the time, and I kind of compare like. Seeing a deer here is probably like seeing a kangaroo in Australia. Like, do you just see kangaroos? Do you see a kangaroo and be like, it's just
yeah.
Just a kangaroo.
Cool. Yeah.
I saw a kangaroo jumping around out here. What?
It depends where you are. Like in the suburbs, you don't see it too much, but if you're just driving, like depending on the roads that you're on, there's like kangaroos. There's too many kangaroos in Australia. Like we have like permission to hunt and stuff because there are too many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably like how deer are here. But like if I saw a kangaroo outside of my front lawn, like I would freak out. I'd be like, this thing's so cool.
Yeah, and I meant like rarely in your suburbs, in most suburbs. But yeah. I did see a super random. I saw a family with a kangaroo as a pet before. That was the first time I saw that. Like it just like chills out, and I was like,
see the dude that punched the kangaroo because it had his dog in a chokehold?
Yeah.
That was pretty sick. He put that bitch in his place.
The boxing kangaroo thing doesn't make sense because kangaroos don't have they're not strong in their arms, it's their legs.
Yeah. They're gonna kick you. Yeah. All right. So let's just move on to the last section here, the leak of the week. Get a couple leaks through here, and then we'll end this episode under an hour, which I like. So maybe
how long are these episodes meant to go for? I feel like every time I'm on, they go longer.
Well, because you like to talk a lot.
Yes. I have a lot of important things to say.
True.
It's important you guys understand.
We're actually on a good pace right now because, like I said, the past few episodes have gone about 55 minutes.
Okay,
and if we get through this in about 7, we're right on pace.
Sick.
So, okay.
There we go. Yes, sir.
All right. It's actually working. This is my leak of the week. It's going to be a nice quick one, but like, I think I've seen this a while ago, but I think they just keep upgrading it. I'm guessing that's why it just got thrown into the leak section. But Malura is probably my favorite alluvial. Since I first saw it, it just looks like a beast. You know, I was on Twitter today kind of talking with Jimbo and Scrubba about, you know how much bench press I could do, and it's just I see this guy, and he just looks like a beast. He could probably bench like 625, right? Right,
For
Jimbo?
sure. Easy.
That's like
625.
that's like
He-
100
he's
100
doing-
Jimbos, right?
Yeah, he's doing way more than that for sure. This dude's yoked.
He looks like a
Shit.
beast. He looks like he could just knock somebody out.
He's not natty at all.
Yo, I'm almost certain that when they designed Malura, that was the description that they're going for. Yoked. Like they're like, yo, we
Mhm.
need him to be yoked.
Yeah. It's just funny that he's got a flower on the tip of his nose, but he's like a big tough guy. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's sick. He's sick.
I've just been I'm drawn to this guy. I'm kind of glad he's a tier 3. He's not gonna be super common, but he's gonna be accessible. I might be building a PvP deck around this guy.
Mm.
We will see.
Yep.
But
You can use the Terror Bird with him as well, which is the actual best Illuvio.
yes, and I've had this in the back of my head. Malura is the bloom. The Terror Bird is the only other bloom, I believe.
Mhm.
And they're gonna work perfect together. That's what I'm building my deck around, so nobody copy me.
Cool, gotcha.
So everyone just build fire stuff around you then.
No,
Depends.
No, see-
It could be rock, you know?
this is actually going to be good against fire, because if you look at that little spin wheel, it's bloom is just what nature and earth, and
Oh, so
fire
it's
is in the
neutral.
middle, so it kind of cancels each other out. I think that's how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Not anymore, because the way they have it set up is you have a dominant synergy, so you have to either pick Earth or Nature. Like it depends on how it's caught naturally. It's random. So
Mhm.
you can use an Earth Malura if you're up against a Fire deck, or a Grass Malura if you're up against whatever that's weak against. I
Oh, so
can't
you need
remember.
two. You need
Mhm.
two Maluras.
Really, I didn't even know that. I heard about the dominant like having the dominant base affinity
Yeah.
or whatever,
Mhm.
but I didn't
With-
realize that that could change. I thought it was just like
No, it's
Maluras are always a
No.
dominant of this
No.
certain kind.
So,
So
you
it-
could get
it
a
switched?
you could get a Malura that's dominant nature. You can get a Malura that's dominant earth. It's,
Oh, I
it's
like
much
that.
easier to see in the new UI.
Yeah,
I like
and
Yeah.
it's cool too because they'll have different price points because one alluvial will be worth more, the other alluvial will be worth less because they're better in different situations.
Yeah.
And some situations are just more common than others.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's really cool actually.
Mhm.
Jimberino, what do you got here? Do you want to share your
So-
screen, or you want me to pull it up here?
Actually, go ahead and just pull yours up. It's fine.
So
It's the moth up a little bit, I think. Yep,
this
right
guy,
there. Yep. So complete opposite of his. His alluvial was a big old Chad. This one's
smush.
nice and cute. And the reason I picked this one is because I missed the Illuvium show, or what? Not Illuvium Rundown, the Illuvium Showcase. I missed the Illuvium Showcase, and I was watching it while laying in bed sick, and my girlfriend came in, and this was on the screen. She was like, "Wow, that's really cute and like looks super good." And I just had a light go off. I was like, "Yeah, dude, look, this is actually one of the best looking alluvials because that fur and like all of the effects on it, like the bright colors, they just all work so well together. It's absolutely beautiful. This is insane how good this art can be. Like, if there's one thing you cannot deny from Illuvium, is that the art is 10 out of 10, the best of the best. End of story, not arguable.
Yo, round of applause. That's the speech that we need. That's the car shotter
Yeah.
that we need.
I agree. This looks really good, especially once it fans out its wings. This one does look really good. They all look really good, though. To be fair, like you said, the whole art, like Grant and everybody else on the team, they just do a great job. It really does separate Illuvium from the rest of Web3 gaming and really just the rest of any gaming. I haven't seen anything this good.
Yeah.
There's not even like Web3 gaming. Web2 gaming, like this is on that level, if not like slightly above most AAA Web2 games. 100%. That's not arguable. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite leak of the one I'm playing. But this does look sick.
Yeah, right? I mean, they all look so good.
Yeah.
This thing.
I think Grant was right, man, when he was like, yo, look how well Illuvifest did. And they're just, again, a collection thing. Imagine once we can collect these as artworks and they actually have utility, like in game and stuff. Like, it's going to be nuts. And like what he said, each of these are going to have like a minute a minute animations. And yeah, if you capture all of them, that's 150 or something, 180, whatever that number is. That's 180 minutes. That's like 3 hours worth of content. Like, that's kind of mad if you think about it.
I can't wait till we can collect these.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything you want to showcase here, TSG?
Yeah, just that one on the left, top left.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the fact that these alluvials are now wakes. So when we actually start playing PB3, fingers crossed that it gets implemented for PB3. I'm almost certain that it will, but it's going to be more exciting. Grant's kind of mentioned right now about the wakes running away, and you have to chase them. Having some sort of like resemblance of what the alluvials are going to be inside. I think that's awesome, man. Like, again, the biggest criticism is, it's too quiet. It doesn't feel like there's enough happening in the overworld. I mean, this is one of the ways to change that. Like I used to see, I know I make fun of Tallulah when she plays, but she legitimately just stands there as the wake goes around and around and around, and she's just waiting there. And I'm like, bro, that's not how you play the game. And with this new implementation of this, plus the wakes running away, she can't do that anymore. You actually need to chase him. You actually need to go and like gun him down, which is actually going to be fun.
Is this something that's expected for open beta? Because I thought this was like, this is what we want, but it might be years down the road. Or is this coming sooner than later?
Well, the alluvials in the overworld are going to be much later. Like, I won't say much later, but they're going to come later, where you actually see them roaming around. These wakes taking shapes of these alluvials could be coming sooner.
So we would just be going into a battle one at a time? You know how you go into a wake and then you could see like 5 or 6?
No. You'd still see it. Still be a wake where there's multiple, but it'd be a representation of. If it's a water thing, you might get one of the water alluvials in there, right? If it says it's I'm actually not sure. I'm kind of just making this up. I'm using logic here. Yeah. But it would make sense if you go into like a fire encounter, you might get one of those birds out there as the representation, something like that. That's kind of my expectation. Yo, 56 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. We shouldn't have spoken about the kangaroos. The kangaroos.
It was the kangaroos. But no, we're still going to finish this under an hour because we're done. Thank you, TSG, for coming on. Thank you, Jimberino. I'm going to put links to both of their YouTubes and Twitter down below in this video. Been another fun conversation, and episode 23 of the GameFi Rundown coming in 2 weeks. Any final comments, guys?
Yo, appreciate you all. Thanks for having me on. Yo, anyone that wants to purchase anything from the merch store, use TSG5 for 5% discount.
Najaf5.
We all know they're gonna use Jimbo 5, so like I don't know why you guys are talking.
Is it Jimbo or is it Jimberino 5?
It's Jimbo 5.
I put it as Jimbo 5. I put it as Jimbo 5.
Did you make?
Yes, man. Yes, for the best cost shouter ever. The best cost shouter. Let's go, yo. Flexing for the go. You can't even see it, but yeah. All good. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Yep. All right. Have a good one. Thanks.
Get him out of here. Like, I'm so sick of that guy. But what I want to say before I leave is like, comment, and subscribe on this video because you know Najaf appreciates it. Come on, be a big dog. Let's go.
And then go over to his channel and do the same thing.
Let's go. All right. Anything else?
No, we're good. We're good.
All right. I'm ending the recording.